Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Cine Geeks podcast. I'm Roy,
I'm Angela.
and for this episode, we will be talking about one of the most important people in all of cinema.
Yes, a living legend.
That's true. At hindi lang dahil living legend siya,
Mhm.
pero bilang primer, kumbaga. Because this person has an upcoming film in a few weeks' time.
Yes.
And of course, who are we talking about?
We are talking about the one and only Steven Spielberg.
That's right. So, before we get the ball rolling, don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe to our Spotify and YouTube channels so you don't miss out on the fun Cine conversations.
And we are also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for our daily recommendations of movies, series, and also some of our trailer reactions as well.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so, huwag na natin patagalin pa. Okay, let's get to it. The reason, again, why we are doing this Spielberg retrospective, looking back, di ba siguro complete look back sa kanyang body of work.
Parang
Kasi
kulang yung isang episode, actually.
That's true. Hindi tayo aabutin ng isang oras lang. Okay.
Just like his movies.
Hindi naman.
Very long.
Hindi naman.
Hindi, si James Cameron
Si
pala
James
yun.
Cameron yung gano'n.
Minimum of 3 hours.
Mag-comment kayo kung gusto nyo pati James Cameron gawa natin ng retrospective.
Oh.
Pero wala pa naman siyang Avatar na sine. So, pag nagkaroon na ng Avatar na lang,
Kailan ba ulit?
2-3 years time pa.
Ah.
Wala. Anyway, sige. Yun, kaya natin ginagawa to. Kasi he is going back to one of his most reliable, kumbaga, na genre, which is the sci-fi alien genre for the first time since 2005.
And that was...
War of the Worlds.
Oh.
Ni Tom Cruise. And yung sinabi natin kanina na movie that's coming out in a few weeks' time is, of course...
Disclosure Day.
That's right. And that stars Emily Blunt,
Josh O'Connor.
Colin Firth, at saka si Coleman Domingo.
Oh, star-studded to eh.
Oh my God. Basta Spielberg.
Diba?
Mag-uunahan ang Hollywood to
Yes.
star in his movies. Yun. Pero, yun na nga. We've been, watching stuff lately. And siguro it's important to also note na hindi lang yung parang ano yung mga movies na ginawa niya specifically, pero the influence that he has had,
Yes.
specifically in the blockbuster genre
I mean,
as a director.
you can't be a cinephile, dare I say, if you haven't seen at least one Steven Spielberg movie.
That's true.
Kumbaga, ano yan eh, isa yan sa mga school of film. Kapag ka sinabing Steven Spielberg, yung movies niya, yun yung tinuturo sa mga film school.
That's true. That's true. And siguro, I mean, dare I say, andito nga may poster nga tayo.
Yeah.
Yung nandiyan dyan. Jaws, considered by many as the first blockbuster.
It is the blueprint
True.
for all the blockbusters that came after.
That's true. Siya na yung siya na yung master ng formula.
Siya yung nag-define.
That's true. That's true. And yun na nga, of course, we start with Jaws. Of course, Jaws came out in 1975.
Ooh.
Not necessarily his first movie, pero his first, yun nga, big budget blockbuster.
Ito ba yung kanyang breakout
I
film?
think so. Ito yung kanyang breakout film na kasi gumawa na siya nung Duel, which is yung the ultimate road rage film na tungkol sa isang kotse na sinubukang makipag-away sa isang truck.
Wow.
So, yeah. Every day in C6. C6 ba? Yung dun sa may pier.
Every day in the Philippines.
Every day in the Philippines. That's true. Pero yun, ginawa din niya kasi yung Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Just 2 years after Jaws. And of course, speaking of, classic blockbuster filmmaking, ginawa din niya yung Jurassic Park.
That is within the same decade?
Actually, Jurassic Park came out in 93. Pero yun yung parang just, to point out, kumbaga, na blockbuster king talaga
Oo
si
naman.
Spielberg.
I mean, even before Jurassic Park, na merong E.T., merong Indiana Jones,
Mm.
ano pa, kahit yung mga iba pa niyang mga movies like, Saving Private Ryan. Alam mo
Oo.
yung mga top 100 films sa IMDb?
Oo.
Parang halos lahat ng films niya nandun.
So, ayun na nga eh. I'm so happy that you pointed out, Saving Private Ryan.
Mhm.
Although it came a lot later
Mhm.
sa kanyang filmography, specifically around 2000 and di pala 1998 pala.
1998,
1998 pala lumabas 'yan.
Mhm.
That shows how versatile he is.
And prolific.
Pero to the subject of versatility, kasi parang pag sinasabi mong blockbuster, puro set piece, puro parang spectacle, puro wow moments. And that can be said about, a lot of Spielberg's films. Pero meron din siya nung mga original na color purple.
And Schindler's List.
Don't
Don't forget about that.
Oo. Ito, may isa akong favorite na movie niya na hindi kasama dun sa parang sobrang spectacle na
parang alam ko na kung ano
side ng kanyang filmography, and that's The Terminal.
Oh my God, grabe yung iyak ko dyan.
Diyos ko. Tandang-tanda ko na isa ito dun sa mga unang mga sine na napanood ko mag-isa sa sinehan. Kasi 2004? So 13 years old na ako noon.
Mag-isa kang nanood ng 13 years old ka?
Kasi 'di ba pag yun yung R13 eh. R13, alam ko R13 siya noon eh. So parang hindi na ako hinarang sa pagpasok ng sinehan.
May R13? Di ba PG-13?
Alam ko may PG, pero alam ko R13 to eh, noon eh.
Okay.
So isa to dun sa mga parang unang mga R13 na movies. Pero yun nga, parang even as a young teenager, yun nga, na talagang grabe yung emotion and yung heart that pours out of it. Pero yun na nga, hindi lang niya nadadala sa parang smaller films niya. Yung heart and emotion. Kasi, sige, balikan natin yung Jaws. Okay. We watched it in a theater just a few years ago.
Nung kanyang 50th anniversary?
Parang, oo, kasi nanood tayo nun sa
Mega Mall.
Sa Mega Mall, sa IMAX.
Alam ko, IMAX yun.
IMAX natin pinanood yun.
Are you sure?
IMAX natin pinanood yun. Oo. Pero
hindi. Superman pala yung pinanood
Superman yung
natin
pinanood natin yan.
Regular screen.
Oo. Pero yung ito, pinanood natin sa IMAX to, alam mo yung 50th. Parang something na mga 40. Basta may anniversary-ish siya.
Anniversary siya.
Oo. Pero hindi, kasi pero 2003 natin siya napanood. 2023, mga ganun eh.
Oo, we just talked about that dun sa re-releases episode natin. Di ba?
Oo. Pero yun, kita mo yung kung gaano ka full of heart yung characters doon sa Jaws.
Yes.
I mean, of course, starting with, yung classic na bida natin doon, which is si
Roy Schneider?
Roy Schneider. Sorry ang weird nitong Wikipedia page ng Jaws. Walang cast list.
O nga no?
Panalo. Sige, punta na lang tayo na.
Ang hirap talaga ng malabo yung mata.
Kaya
ang una kong basa, Rob Schneider.
Punta na lang tayo punta na tayo ang IMDb. Yan, okay. Live look.
Roy Scheider.
Si Roy Scheider,
Scheider, whatever.
Si Brody yun, si Chief Brody.
Tapos
si Robert Shaw, si Quint. Tsaka yung to round out, yung triumvirate nila doon sa pag-hunt doon sa shark, si Richard Dreyfuss, which is si Hooper. Nakakatuwa kasi parang may kanya-kanya silang quirks eh.
Talagang
fully formed character sila.
Formula talaga yung Jaws, no? Kasi up until now, kahit yung mga modern na mga blockbusters ngayon, yung what do you call that? The
archetypes.
The archetypes of the lead parang bunch of characters, yung pa rin yung sinusunod hanggang ngayon. So there's this parang reluctant hero na sobrang he knows everything pero he just doesn't wanna do it. He's too tired of it. And then
Oo.
there's this quirky guy na sobrang may mga funny antics siya.
Oo.
And then, ano nga ba si Quint?
Si Quint siya yung war veteran.
O siya yung merong isang palaging no-nonsense character.
Oo.
Na siya yung parang merong mga dark past. Ganyan. Siya yung mysterious.
Mismo.
Diba?
Oo.
So parang hanggang ngayon, ganun pa rin yung mix of characters sa lahat ng mga blockbusters.
True. Exactly. Oh, hindi ko talaga makalimutan yung speech ni Quint. Yung kinikwento niya na parang yung kung paano siya nakasurvive nung parang tinira yung boat nila during World War II, yung USS Philadelphia ba or something, parang gano'n. Tapos parang kinikwento. Actually, kaya din siya memorable sa akin kasi hindi ko din maintindihan yung pinagsasabi niya.
Diba? Parang may ganun
Kasi sobrang unintelligible nung gumagano siya magsalita. Oo. Pero, yun. And some of his guys, balik tayo sa Jurassic Park. Yun.
Ayun, same archetypes ha?
Same. Oo. Kasi kung si Roy Scheider, yung si Brody, siya si Sam Neill. Oo. Tapos meron din siyang Richard Dreyfuss character doon, which is si...
Of course. Si Wizard.
Si Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Anong name niya?
Si Ian Malcolm.
Ian Malcolm.
Yun. Kaya...
Tapos actually, archetype din yung love interest.
Oh.
Na parang may conflict sila, tapos parang may unresolved issues sila. So, mag-uumpisa and then they will flesh it out as the movie progresses. Parang ganun.
Oo. Yung dito sa Diyos, si Elaine Brody. Yung, asawa na siya. Ni Roy Scheider.
Tapos sa Jurassic Park.
Sino to? Si Laura Dern?
Laura Dern.
Tama.
Tapos meron na silang parang past, di ba? Na hinted, ganyan.
True, that's true. Kaya, hindi mo masasabi na parang puro lang blockbuster. And puro parang big sweeping, parang broad strokes. Gumawa ng sine si Spielberg. Pero, eto din, nung nire-research natin tong episode natin, meron ako nakita na parang common occurrence sa sine niya.
What is it?
Napapansin mo ba yung parang laging merong Spielberg face moment sa mga sine na parang laging parang yung bawa sa
oh my God.
Ito, example sa Jurassic Park.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yung parang yung moment na pinakita, yung ginano ni Laura Dern yung ulo ni Sam Neill. Tapos pinakita ni Sam Neill yung mga Brachiosaurus. Tapos parang bigla siyang
yung laging merong amazed na face na parang they're looking at something big, something huge na off-cam. Kahit dun sa Disclosure Day actually, pag pinanood mo yung trailer, makikita mo yung mukha ni Emily Blunt. Lahat sila nakatingin. Meron silang shot, each character, na nakatingin ng ganun. Na off-cam, they're not looking at the camera, but they're looking at something that's huge, that's big, and they're just parang mind blown. Ganun yung mukha nila. So that's the Spielberg face.
True.
Ano ba merong ganun?
Actually, ang dami. Kahit sa Indiana Jones, laging may Spielberg face si Harrison Ford doon.
Na-master niya na yung Spielberg face.
Dito sa Diyos, yung moment na parang, yung naghihiwa ng chum si Brody. Tapos biglang lumabas yung shark sa harap niya. Although, most extreme na Spielberg face na yon. Pero yung bigla siya nagulat bigla siyang ganon. May ganon eh. Ang daming mga nauulit.
Kahit sa Terminal actually meron yung, alam mo yung scene na nakatingin si Tom Hanks dun sa
Yung parang exit na.
Oo, tapos nakaganyan lang siya. Pero ang tagal na nakafocus sa mukha niya looking at at the wall, parang ganon.
Ay, alam ka, Alden, may moment din na sinasabi mo doon yung meron siya naging friend na janitor, di ba? Tapos yung janitor na friend niya, TNT, sa States. Undocumented immigrant siya.
Yung matanda ba yun?
Yung matanda. Oo. Tapos, parang dahil magre-retire na daw siya, meron siyang gagawin na
something crazy.
Oo. Sinasabi niya kay Tom Hanks na meron siyang gustong gawing something para makabalik na sa asawa niya. Tapos, yun yung parang lumabas siya sa tarmac. Tapos, akala ni Tom Hanks magpapasagasa siya sa aeroplano.
Pero actually, he got himself deported.
Yun, nagpapadeport lang siya. Tapos kasi Tom Hanks parang ganun na rin yung mukha niya.
Tapos nang-focus lang sa kanya, di ba?
Ay, nako.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Di ba nandun si Diego Luna?
Andun.
And Zoe Saldana?
Zoe Saldana, oo. Sino ba yung kilabindas niya? Di ba si Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Catherine Zeta-Jones, yes. I love that movie.
That's a very underrated both Spielberg and Tom Hanks movie.
Super classic. As in,
talaga.
The Terminal. Nasa Mount Rushmore ko yun ng mga feel-good movies.
At saka yun yung nag-incept sa akin na maghanap nung yung iniisip ko tuloy nung pag nagpupunta tayo sa ibang bansa, yung parang, ganun ba yung cart nila? Nagbibigay din ng pera pag binabalik mo. Kasi di ba yun yung...
Ginawa niya yun para makakuha siya ng pera. Makabili siya ng food.
Tapos yung binili niya food, Burger King. Kasi yun yung sobrang mura na nag-iipon siya ng
coins. I love that movie.
Ikaw, what's a personal favorite of yours na Spielberg movie?
There's just too many to mention Ano ba? Catch Me If You Can.
Okay.
Sobrang, as in, that really cemented Leonardo DiCaprio as more than just the Titanic guy for me. Tapos, syempre Tom Hanks din yun.
Of course.
Hindi ko makalimutan yung Catch Me If You Can. As in, hanggang ngayon, when we discuss movies, lagi ko siyang naaalala na, parang siyang Catch Me If You Can. Parang ganon. Blueprint din siya of parang ganon ng mga con men stories.
True.
Ganyan. Ano pa ba? No, hindi sa kanya yung Castaway, no?
Hindi. Ano yan? Zemeckis yun.
Okay.
Pero alam ko producer siya doon. Hindi ba? Tingnan natin.
Ni Tom Hanks ba? Pinoproduce niya.
Ay, hindi siya producer lang. Pero, yan
We should also have an episode about Zemeckis.
Isa yun talaga. West Side Story.
Not my favorite.
Not really favorite.
Not my favorite. Well, it's not an enjoyable watch, pero Schindler's List is one of the classics na, alam mo yung once in a lifetime mo siyang mapapanood and sobrang shocked ako to the core that I don't wanna watch it again. Pero I would ask any cinephile friend that at least you should watch it once in your life.
True.
Ano pa ba?
Ikaw, tatingin kita dito. Tingnan natin yung filmography ni Spielberg. What did you think of Ready Player One? Mabilis na, dito review.
It was very promising.
Okay.
Masyado siyang ambitious for its time. It was ahead of its time. Kasi parang VR siya, di ba?
Yan.
Parang augmented reality.
Parang ganun.
Pero I think it was bloated.
No?
Oo, parang it had too much references.
Yun.
Na parang yun na lang yung naging meat of the story. Parang hindi ko masyadong naramdaman yung plight ng mga main characters. I did not really resonate or I didn't get attached to their plight or their struggles.
Yung kung ano yung stakes nung
hindi ko sila naramdaman, basically.
Ano siya naging parang pop culture reference to movie na lang.
Oo. Alam mo yung, para siyang yung mga montage sa Super Mario ba? Ay, hindi. Sa Wreck-It Ralph. Yung sa Wreck-It Ralph na dun sa mga portals. Tapos sobrang daming mga characters na, uy, si ano.
Puro parang tututuan ka na. Uy,
puro Easter egg.
Puro yun, Easter egg. Naging ano siya. Naging parang
Easter egg the movie.
Try to find your pop culture thing. Tapos kapag, halimbawa, pag hindi mo nakita siya, medyo parang, ay, pangit. Kasi hindi lumabas yung gusto ko. Oo. Although, as personally, parang, ano ba, first 20-30 minutes pa lang, naging solve na tayo agad. Kasi, parang doon nata sa yung kanyang base sa game, meron siyang TARDIS dun sa loob.
Oo.
So parang, yes, TARDIS, good. Okay. Ako naman, of course, the Indiana Jones movies. And yes, I will include Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Why is that a contentious movie?
I mean,
among the fandom.
And before dumating yung Dial of Destiny,
it was the worst.
It was the worst.
The worst.
Oo. Doon nang galing yung term na nuking the fridge.
What's
Kasi
that?
naalala mo yung part doon na, di ba, yung hinahabol siya ng mga Russians after niya makatakas ng Area 51. Tapos pumunta siya sa Area 51, tapos may biglang nagte-test pala ng atomic bomb doon. Tapos nagtago siya sa fridge. Tapos nakasurvive siya. Kahit pahagis-hagis na yung fridge sa ere. Doon nanggaling yung nuking the fridge.
Pero
Yun.
wag ka sa Fallout nung pumasok si yung Knight na character sa fridge tapos na-nuke yung buong mundo. Nakasurvive din siya.
I mean, di ba dahil ghoul na siya to begin with?
Hindi.
Kahit before pa?
Hindi. I think that was a reference to Spielberg siguro.
Ayun.
Pero
Yan.
I have to be honest. I don't remember the Crystal Skull.
Yun yung kasama si Shia LaBeouf.
I just remember na
Yan.
nandun si Shia LaBeouf pero yung kwento was so forgettable. I don't even remember it.
Well, it's him kasi parang going back to his parang tried and tested well of aliens and stuff. Tapos pinaghalo niya yung aliens dun sa kanyang parang
Cowboys
classic
and Aliens,
na,
ganun.
parang ganun. Incidentally, producer siya ng Cowboys and Aliens ni Daniel Craig. Oo, pero buti lang din direct yun. Hindi ko nagustuhan yun. Parang weird no sining yun. Kahit Daniel Craig yun. Naalala mo yun?
Naalala ko, oo. Naalala ko. I just remember how weirded I was.
Yun. Parang hindi siya naka-live up to, it's a different discussion for a different day. Pero yun, nagustuhan ko yung Kingdom of the Crystal Skull kasi, well, first Indiana Jones ko na pinanood din na cinema. So, special sa akin yun. Pero, ang isa pang special na natatandaan ko talaga na pinanood ko sa cinema, yung War of the Worlds ni Tom Cruise.
Tom. He loves Toms.
May sa mga Tom na mga... Kaya may Minority Report pa siya. Yun.
Kay Spielberg din ba yun?
Spielberg yun.
Oh. Doon ko lang nakita na villain si Tom Cruise.
Ha? Sa Minority Report? Hindi Siya yung bida dun.
Ay,
siya yung ganun, yung collateral yung sinasabi
mo. Sorry.
Diba yun? Pero yung sa Minority Report, yun yung they try to solve the crimes before it happens.
Ooh.
Yun, yung parang may mga precog sila. Nakalimutan mo ba yan?
Nakalimutan ko na.
Ayun, yun, maganda din yung Minority. Pero yung going back to War of the Worlds, sobrang 2005. So I was 14. Oh, yun. So, as a 14-year-old, isa ako doon ako sa parang halos bandang harapan ng sinihan. Tapos gabing sobrang nakaka-traumatize in a good way.
Wait, pinanood mo na naman mag-isa yan?
I think so.
Grabe, 14 years old, 13 years old nanonood ka mag-isa?
Yes.
Asan magulang mo?
That's true. Grabe yung trauma ng, lalo na yung unang bulusok nung nag-attack na yung mga aliens.
Ay, oo. Alam mo, hanggang ngayon, sobrang kinikilabutan pa rin ako sa War of the Worlds.
So traumatizing. But I love it.
Lalo na yung creatures, yung sobrang parang umuugat-ugat.
Yung
na
pulang,
red.
yung
Oo.
red.
Sobrang creepy nun.
Yung yung parang lifeblood ng mga alien.
Oo. Tapos, di ba, ang bata pa ni Dakota Fanning doon.
Yan. Pero, yung pinaka-disturbing na part ng War of the Worlds para sa akin was hindi nga anything to do with aliens. Well, though, part siya na umatake yung aliens. Pero yung part na nakarating sila dun sa may pier. Tapos, parang naglalakad dahan-dahan yung mga tao. Tapos gusto nila makasakay dun sa barge. Parang pupunta sila ng Boston or something. Kasi nasa Philly ba sila or something?
Oh, I think I remember this.
Tapos, biglang lumabas yung isang tripod. Tapos nagkaroon ng stampede. Oh, God. Parang gigilabutan ako just remembering that scene. Pero
Pero grabe yung, ang pinaka-memorable sa akin dito, sobrang galing ni Tom Cruise sa Spielberg face. Especially in that movie.
Ay, yung halo na yung parang talaga, tapos may shock, may iyak, may parang grief.
Alam mo yung mixed emotions, kitang-kita mo sa mukha niya na yung shock. Oo, tama.
Yung, lalo na nung spoiler alert, for a 21-year-old film, nung in-unalive na niya.
You're always gonna roll your eyes every time you say that.
Don't ban me, algorithm. Yan, nung ginawa niya yun kay Tim Robbins. Yung tinaguan nila.
Oo.
Hindi lang yun. Hindi lang si Tom Cruise yung may Spielberg face. Si Dakota Fanning din. Kasi di ba yung ginawa niya na parang yung tinakluban muna ni Tom Cruise yung mata ni Dakota. Tapos sabi niya, ganun niya,
cover your ears.
Cover your ears, count to 10. Tapos nung nadidinig naman niya, siyempre bata, curious, tinanggal din niya. So siya, gumagano na si Dakota.
Grabe yun. Tapos
off-screen
nangyayari, no? But you can still feel Yung nangyayari talaga.
Tapos yung
Grabe.
sinasabi mong yung Spielberg face niya, paglabas niya, pagbukas niya ng pinto, tapos hinag niya si Dakota, tapos parang siya, yung
Traumatized, no? As in, ang galing ni Tom Cruise doon.
Ay, nako.
One of the best roles of Tom Cruise,
That's true.
actually.
Pero, ito yung pinaka, I think, underrated niya, maliban sa Terminal pa. Si Spielberg na to, ang dami niyang underrated. Favorite ko yung mga Saving Private Ryan, yung mga Jurassic Park. Yun na yung mga hits na love ng lahat ng tao eh.
Yeah.
Pero, yung Adventures of Tintin, yung
Ah.
CG movie na yon,
Well, I remember that very differently.
due to the movie or personal reasons?
Because of its uncanny valleyness.
True eh, talaga ba? Hindi ba
Oo.
Polar Express yung inaano mo? Yung you're referring to? Kasi Tintin was so clean for me as a CGI film.
Parang magkasabay kasi sila lumabas, di ba?
Sige, tingnan natin na to para lang maano yung ano mo. Kasi alam ko kasi, I mean, it's also supposed to, hindi mas siguro Uncanny Valley, pero it's based on yung a comic book.
Oh, I
Si
know.
Tintin,
Yeah, yeah.
So, mas more parang ginaya niya yung yung ganitong mga matawag to? Yung kung ano yung look nung set.
It was just so weird to me, visually.
Ayan sige, tingnan natin ng
Ayan o. Oo, ang weird nung eyes. Lalo na kapag ka-close up sa face.
true.
I mean, you can see how dated it is now.
Well, kasi it's 2011.
Pero at that time, as in, parang nawiwirdohan ako. Kaya hindi ko masyadong na-absorb yung kwento niyan. Although, I know na it's one of the most celebrated works of
Actually, hindi na.
Spielberg.
I mean, I wouldn't say most celebrated kasi yun na nga, nakakalimutan na nga na Spielberg siya eh. Pero, sige, to your point, I would partially agree na parang yun na nga, it brings about yung Uncanny Valley, hindi mo memories, pero a feeling. Kasi, kung 2011 to, kakalabas lang natin, or within a few years lang tayo ng Avatar. So, parang basically, Avatar was a game changer in terms of CGI. Kaya parang, wait, ba't gadun ang linis naman? Ba't dito parang ganyan? Pero ako, ang siguro na special din sa akin to as a film na yung during that time period. Pero I would siguro give it pass na lang kasi parang it's based on a comic book. So kung nire-retain niya kumbaga yung aesthetic.
It stayed true to the aesthetic. Yeah.
That's
Art
true.
style. Ganun din ba yung itsura ng comic book?
Medyo-ish.
Okay.
Oo. If we're talking about Uncanny Valley-ness, medyo hindi ko nagustuhan yung BFG.
Ayan, isa pa din yan.
Kasi yung BFG parang medyo, ayan, tignan mo yung poster. We're looking at the poster of BFG right now. Medyo parang
ito naman mukhang storybook.
So kung siya yung gumagawa nung ganong parang CG, nire-retain niya yung dream-like, storybook-like element nung kung bakit
original
ganon.
source.
Oo.
Okay, it makes sense. Kaso lang, with the technology that we had back in 2016, and yung level ng mga animations na nung 2016, the year lumabas yung BFG, parang it felt like, parang sobrang backward.
Parang nag-step back tayo, no?
Oo.
True.
Imbes na mas realistic. Kahit nga yung technology ng video games is already up there nung 2016.
That's true.
So bakit parang this looks like Adventures of Tintin once again, di ba? You feel attacked?
The Tintin fan.
Shoutout sa mga Tintins. Kasi alam ko, lagi silang inaano, oy, Adventures of Tintin. Mga Christine.
Christine. Although, may parang nagkaroon siya ng era na yun nga, meron siya mga experimental. I won't say experimental, pero nga, nag-Lincoln siya. Tapos nag-Bridge of Spies, tapos may BFG, The Post. Pero dun sa parang later era niya, na ginagawa niya ngayon, ako, I mean, sinabi mo, you alluded to it, your thoughts kanina. Pero for me, parang medyo, it just holds a special place in my heart. West Side Story. I loved that. I loved his version of West Side Story.
Loyal kasi ako dun sa original eh. Although, may mga certain elements naman of the movie, of Spielberg's West Side Story, that I liked more than the original. Pero, para sa akin, yung, ano yan? in America.
Ay, grabe yun. Oh my God.
Ang ganda
It's
nung
one
production
of his
nun.
best sequences ever ni Spielberg yun. Diyos ko.
As much as I loved Rita Moreno, pero Ariana DeBose actually gave justice to the role.
True.
Ang problema ko talaga dun sa West Side Story, Ansel Elgort talaga.
Sabi na eh.
Not even Rachel Zegler, kasi hindi pa naman siya problematic at the time. Wala pa siyang,
Yun yung sabihin ko sa'yo eh. Parang, what did you think of West Side Story? Problematic lead actors aside.
And actress eventually.
Actor. Pero siguro, kaya din siguro siya sobrang special sa akin. Kasi 2022, 21, siya lumabas natin.
Pandemic to.
So parang isa siya doon sa mga unang pinanood natin na hindi na kailangan mag-face shield.
Pero meron pa rin one seat apart pa rin
One
yata
seat apart
tayo
pa rin
nun.
ba? Hindi, parang kung magkatabi na naka-face mask na lang tayo. Pero wala nang face shield.
Oh my God,
Parang
the
alam
face
ko,
shield.
ba?
Tapos nakasalamin pa tayo, di ba? Parang ang hirap-hirap.
Alam ko, GCQ na siya nun eh.
Puro mist na lang yung nakikita ko kapag naka-face shield tayo.
Yun,
nun.
kasi yung alam ko yung ganun natin, yung Dune. Yun, MECQ yun. One seat apart, face shield, face mask. Etong West Side Story, GCQ na siya. So parang no more face shield.
Pero may mask pa rin.
Mask na lang.
Oh my God, naalala ko tuloy yung Shang-Chi. Kasi 2 seats apart pa yon with face shield and face mask.
Face mask.
Pro mask. Kasi lahat na lang, kulang na lang mag-PPE na rin tayo.
Kailangan naka-hazmat suit ka habang nanonood ng sine. Ay, nako. Pero, alam ko yung Fablemans, hindi na natin to nakita eh.
Yeah.
Kasi parang 2022, medyo iba pa ang ating professional focus.
Yeah.
Ang panahon na yun.
We missed that in the cinemas.
Tsaka hindi kasi siya lumabas sa sinihan.
Huh?
So, alam ko hindi eh. Kasi, yun pa yung, once upon a time, young cinephiles, meron pa tayong panahon na hindi lumalabas lahat ng mga prestige na sine sa sinihan natin. So,
especially easing back into now.
True.
From the pandemic.
That's
na talagang sineselect lang talaga nila yung mga alam nilang tentpole, yung mga kumikita lang talaga ng mga movies.
Yes, yung kikita lang talaga na sine. Pero yun na nga, natatamasa natin ang ating current cinema landscape. Including, yun na nga, Steven Spielberg na blockbuster. So, with that being said, nice segue. Pag-usapan naman natin ang kung anong alam natin sa Disclosure Day. Okay.
We don't know much, actually.
Yes,
The trailer doesn't give us a lot.
Actually, even the existence of Disclosure Day was a BFG surprise. A BFS. It's a big F surprise. Na parang, kailan pa lumabas yung trailer na. Ginawa natin yung episode natin ng most anticipated releases last year.
Pero hindi pa nga widely known na merong Steven Spielberg at the time.
Yun, kasi ang kasama natin nun nga, yung the Red Door Boys, at saka si Smash, nung pinag-usapan natin yung mga anticipated natin for this year. Tapos, parang alam ko na na-surprise kayo.
Yes,
legitimately,
when you mentioned it. Yeah.
Na parang, may Spielberg na lalabas, kayo parang, ha? Talaga?
Oo. Why is it not being talked about,
True.
diba?
Kasi ako din, nung nakita ko yung trailer na parang, ay, wow, may Spielberg pala. Kasi nga, 2022 pala, last lumabas yung Fablemans. So parang even the idea of a Spielberg movie being made, inaano na yan, cause of celebration na siya.
Exactly.
In the internet sphere.
We were surprised how under the radar it was.
Yes, that's true.
Pero in fairness sa kanila ni Martin Scorsese, talagang kahit na may edad na sila talagang gumagawa pa rin sila no?
Sige, tangent lang tayo. Sidebar lang sandali. Do you think na Spielberg is still making better films at his age than Scorsese makes better films? Than the way Scorsese makes films pala at his age. Sino yung sa palagay mo mas nakaka-retain pa rin nung what put him on the map?
Well, can we check yung latest works ni Martin Scorsese?
Pura
For the
tayo.
past 2 decades na lang siguro. Let's compare.
Sige, tingnan natin dito.
Kasi, if we're just talking about Steven Spielberg, Um, parang hindi, hit or miss siya eh.
Si Spielberg.
Oo, si Spielberg. But I can also say the same thing about Martin Scorsese. Kasi kahit yung Irishman, although si Scorsese kasi, parang mahilig na lang, mas konti yung ginagawa niya actually.
Oo.
Oo. Okay, ano ba yung pinaka-last niya? Killers of the Flower Moon. Okay. So, every time naman na meron siyang gagawin, talagang kasama yan sa consideration
Mhm.
sa Oscars, di ba?
Mhm.
Irishman. Silence, not very,
Hindi natin napanood yan.
pero Wolf of Wall Street, yan, Shutter Island, Departed.
Good. Departed is one of the best
Oo
movies of all time.
naman. Shutter Island din. I love that. The
Oo.
Aviator, Gangs of New York. So, para sa akin, mas konti yung ginagawa ni Scorsese. Pero mas, quality. So, siguro, it's a matter of quality over quantity with Scorsese. Kasi si Spielberg, he does a lot of movies.
Actually, oo.
Pero, like, ang daming mga movies na medyo miss, katulad ng Crystal Skull. Although, at the turn of the millennium, artificial intelligence, Minority Report, Catch Me If You Can, Terminal, meron siyang streak.
Meron siyang parang may Pixar streak nga siya, no?
Tapos
Oo.
biglang Munich.
Munich was good. I mean,
pero who
it's-
remembers Munich?
siguro kasi Munich was his Schindler's List for the 21st century kasi.
Oo, pero
Yun.
hindi rin siya as remembered
Hindi,
as Schindler's
true,
List.
that's
Hindi
true.
siya ganun ka-impactful eh. And then Crystal Skull, 'di ba? Medyo contentious sa fan base. Tintin, it's an acquired taste, I would say.
Okay.
War Horse, I did not see that.
Mas parang Munich siya.
Lincoln, sobrang award bait.
Oo. I mean, siguro pinanood ko siya at a time na ano pa ako. Alam mo yung, no offense to Letterboxd Bros. Pero, all caps Letterboxd Bro pa ata ako nun. Yung tipong parang yung sasabihin ko lang na napanood ko to dahil lang uso
Binasa
siya.
mo? So,
Yung mga ganon. Yung parang, nabasa ko sa Wikipedia yung summary.
na
Tapos,
sobrang dami niyang awards.
na parang alam mo.
O kaya,
Oo.
dahil sa dami niya ng awards, maganda siya.
Yun. Oo, yun. Anong pa ako sa aking face of a movie fan. Nang maging ganon. Nagustuhan ko siya. Pero, I mean, looking back. Pero ngayon, parang not as much as I siguro worship the film back then. Kasi sinasabi pa, wow, grabe yung work ni Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh my God. Tapos grabe din yung
Method
attention to
acting
detail
niya,
ni
yun,
nung production design. Parang talaga parang, pero ngayon parang siyang, okay, it's award bait.
Uh-uh.
Yun siya. Pero kahit yung The Post, award bait din siya. Excuse me. Kahit yung Fablemans, alam ko award bait yan.
Oo naman.
Kasi, ano naman yan, parang semi-autobiographical naman niya. Oo.
Yun naman yung parang sa akin weird na why are you suddenly making parang a memorial of yourself?
Hindi ka
Parang-
papatay.
Tapos ikaw mismo yung gumawa. Which is,
Gagawa.
parang sabi ko, I mean, no judgment. If you wanna do that, do you. I mean, you're Steven Spielberg. You can do anything. Pero telling your story yourself, parang that's unheard of.
Kahit pinalitan
Especially
yung pangalan.
for a genius like him.
True.
'Di ba? Although, siguro, ang nakikita kong reason niya is he wants his story to come from him.
At saka siguro, ayaw na rin niya maging biktima dun sa parang gagawan siya ng biopic. Tapos, magiging sabihin sanitized. Or what.
Pero making a biopic is not up to you.
True.
So, parang ang weird niya lang.
Kahit
Parang,
paltan mo pa yung pangalan mo.
I'm so sorry pero, ewan ko, baka baka censor tayo dito. Pero, it's very, batory.
Well,
It's bordering
true.
that self-love.
And I mean, anytime somebody does that for themselves, I mean, that's very fair naman. A fair observation.
As much as I love Steven Spielberg, that was weird.
That's true. Kaya siguro kaya hindi natin pinanood kasi parang nung sinabi yung parang premise niya na parang, ano yung Fablemans? Kwento niya. Pero pinalitan lang niya yung pangalan. Parang, Ang weird naman nun.
It's like Walt Disney making a movie about himself.
Oo, that's
Parang
true.
ang weird, di ba?
Oo. Ay, Diyos ko. Sige, mabalik tayo sa disclosure day sandali. Grabe yung pedigree ng cast nito. Binanggit na natin yung Big Four na part nito. Of course, Emily Blunt. Kakalabas lang niya sa Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yeah.
Pero I mean, Emily Blunt is more than Devil Wears Prada 2.
Oo naman.
Talaga.
Oo.
Ay,
Prolific actress. I mean, Oppenheimer, right?
Pero yung mga yung mga sci-fi na talagang siya ang bida. I mean,
Oh
of
my
course,
God, yes.
Edge of Tomorrow, Quiet Place,
Ah.
1, 2, and alam ko 3.
You
Din ba?
consider that sci-fi?
Oo, kasi alien yung kalaban dun eh.
Sa bagay. Pero mas horror kasi yung dating niya sa akin.
Horror sci-fi.
I mean, that can work.
Pwede. Oo, pero yung hindi na siya stranger, kumbaga, sa ganitong klaseng genre. Si Emily Blunt. I mean, Edge of Tomorrow. We have talked about it.
Have we?
Ad infinitum. Yung tipong, yung in our history. As, di lang Cine Geeks, pero bilang tayong dalawa. Yung ating ating first date movie.
First date movie.
First date movie ng Cine Geeks yan.
12 years ago.
That's true. Kaya may special place din para sa atin, sa ating puso.
Si Emily Blunt.
Si Emily Blunt.
At saka si Tom
Tsaka
Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Actually, Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pero siguro yung man of the hour, should we say, about of this film. Sige, wag mo natin siya kasi gusto ko ihuli siya. Huli natin siya. Colin Firth, steady hand.
Yes.
In terms of acting.
The British Tom Hanks.
That's actually yung
Yeah.
Kung
You're welcome.
Si British Tom Hanks.
Oo. I mean, it's not Hugh Grant.
I know.
Oh.
Hell no.
I mean, yung
Hugh
super
He's an a-hole.
good guy.
Pero Colin Firth, Colin Firth is a good guy. Nga, pwede i-slot si Colin Firth sa mga role ni... Si Tom Hanks, i-slot mo siya sa mga role ni Colin Firth.
If ever maging British si Woody, you get Colin Firth.
Oo, gawa ka na Pwede sana siya si Paddington, no?
Sino?
Si Colin Firth, kung hindi na binigay kay Ben Whishaw.
I mean, it's weird. Pero kasi ang tanda kasi ng boses ni Ben Whishaw.
Yun din.
For his age,
another topic.
He sounds like an old guy.
True. And of course, Coleman Domingo.
Oh my God.
Kakagaling na natin ng Michael. Woo! My God.
Sobrang galing niya dun.
Yes.
Joe Jackson.
Lock in his best supporting
We weren't able to review
Oscar.
Michael actually.
Sige, quick review. Oscar. Michael. How did it,
Fantastic.
True. Ako din.
Super
loved it.
must watch.
Kung fan ka ni Michael Jackson.
Even if you're not a fan, just experience the movie, experience the music.
True. Alam ko, parang patapos na siya sa kanyang IMAX engagements. Habulin nyo pa rin. Talaga. Promise.
Best in IMAX.
Talaga. Sige, balik tayo yan. So, Coleman Domingo, Colin Firth, sila yung parang support sa likod na parang yung pillars, kumbaga. Pero yung, again, sinabi ko kanina, yung the man du jour, the man of the hour, is Josh O'Connor.
Oh my God. I loved him in Wake Up Dead Man.
Ay, grabe.
Sobrang galing niya doon.
Pero, meron pa siya ng challengers.
Oh my God, isa pa yun. I mean, yun yung una natin siyang nakilala. As in, ang galing niya doon sa Challengers. Zendaya. Oh my God, that movie was so electric.
Grabe.
As in, talagang, I was literally holding on to my seat.
Grabing nangingiti ako pagkatapos ng singing.
Oo, we were buzzing. As in.
Mga klase yun.
Oo.
Ay, nako.
Lalo na yung last sequence, yung last 5 minutes of it.
Na yung last shot niya, yung parang ginaya ni Guadagnino yung shot sa Slam Dunk. Yung nakaganon sila sa ere.
Oo. Alam mo yung hindi na talaga ako makahinga. Na parang, oh my God, the tension, the sexual tension in this movie.
Grabe. Pero yun, sa Wake Up Dead Man, si Reverend Judd Duplessis. Duplessis.
It's a weird name.
Nakapagtapatan siya kay Daniel Craig.
Oo. Galing niya.
Hindi lang scene for scene, hindi lang blow by blow, pero talagang may mga scenes na talagang na uungusan niya si Daniel Craig in terms of, actor energy on screen.
Oo, ang galing niya doon. Talaga. You should watch it, Wake Up Dead Man. It's on Netflix.
Yes. So, pero, yun, kaya, sobrang excited ako na para dito sa Disclosure Day.
Wait, what do we know about the story, about the plot?
I mean, very little. And I guess, with good reason na rin. Kahit
Kasi
siguro siya.
All I know is this is sci-fi. There's an alien. Tapos, parang weather girl ba? Or reporter si Emily Blunt?
Emily Blunt. Tapos parang bigla siyang na-possess on live TV. Bigla siyang sasalita in gibberish. So parang, is she an alien? Ano ba? May ganun nangyayari. Tapos itong si Josh O'Connor,
he can understand. Tama ba?
Yung gibberish niya, ata, or something. Tapos parang he has to reveal the secret to the world. Hence, Disclosure Day. Pero what is Disclosure Day about? So parang siyang,
what are they gonna disclose?
Yun. Is it are aliens already among us? And this is a preset date? Disclosure Day of their existence?
Yes.
Or is it Disclosure Day na parang parating pa lang sila? Or yun. Ang daming ang daming yung
pwedeng meaning.
Pwedeng maging meaning, that's right. And the film is going to be written by si David Koepp na long time David Koepp. Koepp. Hindi siya Koepp. David Koepp. Koepp. David Koepp actually for those na hindi Letterboxd bros and sis dyan, siya nagsulat ng Mission Impossible na una. Di pala. Sorry, my bad. Siya tama. Siya nagsulat ng Mission Impossible na una. Siya yung nagsulat ng Spider-Man na una.
Spider-Man
ni
Sam
Tobey.
Raimi?
Siya yung nagsulat ng War of the Worlds.
Oh my God, siya nagsulat ng Panic Room.
Siya yung nagsulat ng Panic Room.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
Yes. Siya yung nagsulat ng another little known or little underrated film, yung Premium Rush ni Joseph Gordon-Levitt, yung bike delivery man siya.
I haven't seen that.
Haven't seen that yet? Yan.
The Mummy, kanya.
The Mummy niyan yan. The Mummy ni Tom Cruise yan. Yung,
okay.
Yung medyo,
never mind.
Oh, no. Kaya meron din siyang so medyo
on
and off din siya. Pero I would say na mas marami yung kanyang hits kesa sa mga miss. So, that's David Koepp, the writer of Disclosure Day. Spielberg is also collaborating with, of course, John Williams.
Oh my God. Alam mo, lahat ng movies na pinagpera nila, Spielberg and John Williams, E.T. Jurassic Park, of course. Indiana Jones. Sobrang recognizable nung soundtrack. Kaya din sobrang, alam mo yung classic and timeless ng feel and epic.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Sobrang epic ng mga movies ni Spielberg.
True.
It's because of the music.
I mean, naalala mo ba nung nanood tayo a few months back nung Film Music Legends?
Oh my God.
For Film Concerts PH.
John Williams.
Yung John Williams and Hans Zimmer. So yung John Williams segment, parang halos puro Spielberg. Puro may Jaws, di ba? Tapos yun nga yung E.T., yung
Jurassic Park,
yung mga ganun.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Talagang, it's the soundtrack of your childhood. If you are a film lover.
It really elicits such a different emotion in you. Kapag narinig mo yung music, alam mo na kaagad na parang, I was this years old when I watched this and heard this music for the first time.
That's true.
Ang nawala lang yata sa Spielberg na filmography sa John Williams set was Superman.
Oo. Naman
Tsaka Harry Potter?
Hindi, alam ko Harry Potter lalabas yung, may lalabas silang Harry Potter na movie na film concert soon, which is Goblet of Fire.
Pero
hindi John Williams yun eh. Iba na yun.
John Williams. We should also do an episode of John Williams.
True. That's true. And finally, rounding out the usual collaborators for Disclosure Day with Spielberg is Janusz Kaminski, cinematographer. So, siya ang cinematographer ni Spielberg sa mga little-known films like Schindler's List. Tapos, from 97, 98, 2001. So, yung mula Jurassic Park, Lost World hanggang Munich.
Oh, that's a streak.
Magkasama silang
Ilan?
dalawa.
How many movies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 movies
Nine
straight.
movies ni Spielberg, si
Oo.
Janusz Kaminski.
Oo.
Tapos,
And then he also did BFG. Ayun, marami pa.
lagagi parang puro ata lahat ng Spielberg si Janusz Kaminski. So talagang, siya na din yung nakadevelop ng ng visual language ni Spielberg.
Mm-mm.
Alongside Spielberg.
Yes, yes.
Oo.
Siya na yung eyes ni Spielberg.
True. Kasi
Oo.
tignan mo, titigil lang siya kapag may ibang project si Kaminski I mean, silang dalawa na part yung collaboration nila.
Yeah.
Kasi pag hindi si Spielberg yun, may mga Judd Apatow, Chris Sanders, John Krasinski, ganun. Pero babalik siya bigla kay Spielberg.
Pero some of the best looking Spielberg films,
Are
siya
his.
talaga.
Oo. Talaga. Kaya, yun na nga alam mong grabing magiging pedigree, dekalibre, yung Disclosure Day. Kaya ang hirap na hindi
Mag-expect,
maging
no?
hyped
Oo.
for it. Talaga.
Which is a danger, actually. Kasi parang we are set up to really expect a lot.
That's true. That's true.
And sana hindi naman siya maging underwhelming just because of the high expectations that we already have given all the collaborators. And of course, kahit pa nga si Spielberg pa lang basta Spielberg, you expect a lot. You expect so much, di ba?
That's true.
He's a legend.
Ito, tanongin kita. Para sa atin kasi, hanggang siguro sabihin natin sa generation natin, talagang Spielberg is and has been a film deity.
Yeah.
Pero how do you think the children these days, Gen Z, siguro sabihin natin may mga Gen Alpha na mga film fans na, sabihin natin, how do you think they would approach Disclosure Day? Do you think na parang this film will perform well with them as well? Ikaw?
Knowing Spielberg kasi, sobrang, niya he's very used to his way of telling stories. And inadapt na yon ng bagong generations ng mga filmmakers and directors. So, it will feel familiar. I'm pretty sure. Kasi ang daming na-inspire ni Spielberg na, na popular directors among the Gen Zs and Gen Alpha. So, ito, parang getting it from the source, kumbaga. Pero, if it would translate, as well as how it translated for us, remains to be seen. Kasi yung yung subject din kasi ng Disclosure Day is very, I don't know, complicated. It's very complex.
Yan.
For the young ones. For the young ones.
Oo.
Kasi, di ba, parang it's a combination of sci-fi. Parang from the trailer, may nadedetect din akong fantasy.
Medyo, oo nga. Medyo.
Tapos parang
supernatural-ish.
Supernatural, may pagka-horror din siya. So, from that alone, hindi siya ganun kasimple for the young ones to easily absorb. So that's the challenge, actually. Ayun yung parang medyo, I'm on the fence. I'm not sure if this will parang hit talaga 100%. Ikaw?
So you think na ganyan siya na magiging pwede siyang tawaging litmus test kung may influence pa ba si Steven Spielberg in today's film landscape?
Yes.
Kasi yun na nga and this is not to sound, parang degrading to anybody. No, we don't. We don't. Canadian yan. We don't mean to put anyone down naman, of course. Pero we know that there are, the children now, the Gen Zs and Gen Alpha na nasa Letterboxd, they skew a certain way with their taste. And
especially
nothing wrong with that.
Yung attention span. You
Yan
have
din.
to think
Yung
about
TikTok,
that.
generation,
Yes.
how has, the social media of the now impacted the attention span of young film goers. Sana lang, ang hope ko lang is, sana, yun na nga, na parang they would give it a chance. Kasi, nung panahon nung panahon kasi namin, hindi naman. Nung tayo kasi parang, we were still used to a certain kind of film na talagang yung kailangang upuan, kailangan tutukan.
Parang you cherish the build-up.
Yes.
Hindi ka nagmamadali for
Or parang yung quick hit.
Or yung sobrang kailangan masatisfy ka agad ako.
Oo. Talagang kaantayin mong dumating doon sa climactic moment. Ito parang Jaws. Yun. Alam mo, sa akin, dare I say, as much as Jaws is celebrated as being, the prototypical blockbuster.
It was slow.
Yes.
It was a slow burn, actually.
We only see the shark 2 hours after a couple of hours na.
Oh, diba?
Tapos, yung biggest burst of excitement pa niya, kasi hindi ko sabihin burst of excitement, pero yung pinaka parang, wow, oh my God, nung napasabog din nila yung shark.
Oo. Pero
Yun.
even then,
Ang tagal
parang
nun.
puro tubig-tubig lang din yung nakikita mo, diba?
Oo.
You don't really see the creature ng sobrang out there.
Pero that constituted a blockbuster back then.
Oo.
Yun. So parang, ito din parang feeling ko magiging referendum na rin ba siya on what is a blockbuster for the now generation.
And how has it evolved over the decades.
That's true.
You can say the same about Scorsese actually. Kasi
True.
yung mga later movies na ni Scorsese, hindi na rin siya nagtatranslate. Remember Irishman?
Remember Killers of the Flower Moon?
Ano pa? Yung mga last few movies ni Scorsese.
Sige, tinan natin. Balik tayo kay Scorsese.
Kasi it's hard not to compare them kasi magkasabay sila, pareha sila ng
I would posit that the last true Scorsese film, I mean in the vein of his exciting energy films, kumbaga, was Wolf of Wall Street.
Yun pa.
Yun
And that was 2013.
That was 13 years ago.
13 years ago.
Pero since then, he has made quiet, contemplative films. Siguro kasi din nag-iba na rin siya ng parang pananaw niya as a filmmaker.
So maybe that's also what happened to Spielberg.
Yun
I mean, it
mangyayari.
remains to be seen.
Siguro I think we will see the transition from Wolf of Wall Street to, sige, dahil hindi natin napanood yung Silence, skip natin. From Wolf of Wall Street to Irishman. Feeling ko ito na yung magiging Irishman ni Spielberg.
Actually, I would posit
sige.
na yung Irishman ni Spielberg was Ready Player One.
Talaga?
Kasi hindi na niya alam kung anong gustong makita ng millennials at the time eh.
Okay.
Kasi akala niya, just because we see something familiar, matutuwa na tayo. Pero sobrang thin nung plot nun eh.
Pero kasi yung pop culture heaviness nung Ready Player One can also be attributed doon sa source material.
True.
Pero tama ka din na merong hand yung director in what goes on screen sa gawa niya.
How about the depth of the characters?
True.
'Di ba? Nasaan yung struggle, nasaan yung emotional weight nung story for us to really feel the movie.
That's true.
Kasi para sa akin, ang natatandaan ko lang about Ready Player One was the references, was the Easter eggs.
Actually, natatandaan ko lang sa Ready Player One yung trailer.
Tsaka si Alicent nandun.
Si
Olivia Cook.
Si Olivia. At natatandaan ko doon na that is what constitutes an ugly lady for people.
Weird.
Yung may ganun sa mata.
Oo
Na
nga.
parang, wow, kaya siya nakaganon kasi ugly daw siya. Tapos binuksan yung mukha niya, saan banda?
Oo nga.
Okay. Sana pala ginawa na nila, talagang deformed talaga yung parang talagang okay.
Pero para sa akin, that was a letdown eh. Yung Ready Player One. Parang he thinks, I imagine na Steven Spielberg thinks this will appeal to our generation, to millennials. Kaya yun yung ginawa niya. Parang he totally missed the mark.
Kaya bigla siya nag-retreat pabalik ng Prestige.
Oo.
Tapos yung mga Prestige naman na ginawa niya, yung West Side Story tsaka Fabelmans, very, very classic cinema naman.
Kumita ba yung West Side Story?
Alam ko, I mean dito hindi kasi pandemic. Pero alam ko kumita siya eh. Tignan natin ang box office.
76 against 100 million.
Ay, hindi pala. It was a bomb. Ooh.
It was.
I mean, because it was a pandemic. I mean, sure.
Pero, may mga pandemic films naman na kumita eh.
I mean, sure.
Top Gun.
Spider-Man, No Way Home. Still the highest grossing, one of the highest Grabe yun, bang klase yun, no? Kumita ng $2 billion in a pandemic.
Oh.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
not the pandemic. Hindi mo pwedeng gawing excuse yun.
That's true. Ay, nako. Anyway, well, just to siguro wind down our discussion. Ako, I'm excited for it. Personally.
I am as well.
As a long time Spielberg fan, hindi ko ipapass up yung opportunity to be inside a cinema watching his film on a movie screen. Kumbaga, parang siyang yung sinabi natin tungkol sa kay Mandalorian, na parang Star Wars.
You can't miss that.
Can't miss it.
Oo, you have to watch it.
Oo, sa sinihan. Of course, the final result varies. Pero
you still have to see it.
You still have to see it. Kasi kaya mo masabi na parang
tradition yan eh.
Nakapanood ako ng Star Wars sa sinihan.
Oo.
Or nakapanood ako ng Spielberg sa sinihan. Or even nung dati nung lumabas yung Killers of the Flower Moon, na parang nakapanood ako ng Scorsese sa sinihan. Yung ganon.
Pandemic din ba yun?
Hindi naman. 2023 na siya. So
okay.
medyo easing out na tayo. Pero alam mo, sige, in closing na lang, final anecdote na lang natin about this. And I think this is a very important thing to raise. Given we're talking about, classic filmmakers and our expectation na parang hopefully it appeals to the younger people. Naalala ko nung pinanood natin yung Killers of the Flower Moon. It's a 3-hour film, of course.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes.
It was a struggle.
It was a struggle kasi tinanggal niya yung signature propulsive energy niya eh. Talagang gumawa.
It was so freaking slow.
For a Scorsese film, ha?
Oo.
I mean, even Irishman had yung flourishes pa. Siguro konti na lang. Pakunti-konti. Pero meron pa rin siya ng mga konting Goodfella-isms. Ng konti.
At saka medyo, disappointed ako sa character ni
Leo.
Hindi, ni babae.
Ni girl.
Ni girl, oo.
Ni Flower. Ni Flower Moon. Hindi. Ni Wu ni siya. Basta yan. Nakalimutan ang pangalan niya.
And actually, the Killers of the Flower Moon film became all about the Best Actress Award na lang. Parang yun na lang yung pinag-uusapan about it. Dahil nga dun sa parang first Native American nominee.
True.
And they were really pushing for her to win. So parang that's how I remember it eh.
Pero ito, nare-remember mo ba yung nag-YouTube sa likod natin? Pinapanood natin yun.
Oh my God. Okay, tinitrigger mo ko.
So, yun siya. Nung pinapanood namin siya sa Rockwell, VIP cinema at that. So, parang, Jesus Christ, these kids must have spent, for them, kung rich kids sila, not really a fortune.
Bata
pero
ba yun?
I think so. So, a considerable amount of money to watch it in the VIP cinema. And understandably, kasi nakakadalawang oras na tayo, wala pa tayo dun sa parang papuntang climax eh. Pero itong batang to, biglang naglabas ng cellphone at nag-YouTube ng pagkalakas-lakas.
Oh my God.
So, yun yung parang, do you think the kids will still respect a Spielberg film? Because it's a Spielberg film?
Again, katulad nga nung sinabi ko kanina, remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen.
Depends on how Spielberg actually told this story. Pero sci-fi naman has always been his best genre for me.
That's true.
And yung Indiana Jones, I don't think it will speak to this generation anymore. Sadly. Pero even Harrison Ford.
Dial of Destiny flopped. So, you're right.
Flopped hard. Pero wag ka, yun yung first ever episode natin ng Cine Geeks podcast.
Infamously, the first episode of the Cine Geeks podcast. Ay, nako. Sige, ito na, sige. We'll throw the baton over to you. Cine Geeks, what's your favorite Spielberg movie? Or, if you'd rather talk about Disclosure Day, what are your expectations? Kayo ba, do you expect it to be top tier sci-fi Spielberg or mas more magiging parang Ready Player One?
The Irishman.
The Irishman. Hindi, Killers of the Flower Moon na ba siya? Ito na ba yung Killers of the Flower Moon ni Spielberg?
Pero wag ka sinasamba yun sa Letterboxd.
I mean, sure. Ay, nako. Pero yun, those are our questions to you.
I have one more question.
Sige, siya ba? Yun.
Which director do you want us to talk about next on a future episode?
Yun. Sige, comment nyo din below and let us know.
Meron na akong gustong i-nominate eh.
Di pero si diba? Sinabi din natin kanina.
Nolan.
Ayan na,
naka-display. Asan ba yung Nolan natin dyan? Ayan, no?
Next in our director series.
Hindi, but I wanna know what our Cinegeeks want.
Sige, comment below and let us know. And don't forget to like, share, and follow and subscribe to the to the channel. To the channel on Spotify and on YouTube. Kung nag-enjoy kayo sa ating discussion. And don't forget to give us 5 stars din sa Spotify.
Yeah.
Kung nag-enjoy kayo.
We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. There we post our daily movie and series recommendations and some trailer reactions and some of the films that we watch.
That's true. Yun. So for this Spielberg Spielberg episode.
Yeah, this is just the tip of the Spielberg.
Ayun ako. I'm Roy.
I'm Angela.
And we'll see you in the next one.